last question. How did you meet?
We lived on the same street.
Yeah.
And then we used to go dancing on Friday nights at the Knights of Columbus.
And where was that?
In North Windsor.
What year did you go to high school?
I graduated in 1947. Daddy graduated in 1946.
Yeah. And then, so when did you start dating? What year were you in high school, or were you in high school?
Well, I was 17 when I graduated, so I was born in 1930.
But what year did you start dating?
Probably then he was in the service. And then when he came out, he came to the dances. And then we danced.
And that was the beginning of it?
Yeah.
And when was your first date? Do you remember?
First date? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. We went over, remember Shoals Rollerdrome, they had dancing, and you forgot your wallet, and you saw some guy you knew, and you ran up to him and asked him to give you some money.
Which guy was that? Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember who the guy was, but...
And where was that at?
And then I have no money.
Where was that date?
Where? In Neponset.
Yeah, I went to
Shoals Rollerdrome, which also was, they turned it into a dancing place, too.
It was roller skating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we walked over, because Daddy didn't have a car. We walked from Norfolk Town
That was
to
only,
Neponset.
yes.
What was that, like 2 miles maybe, or not even that far?
No. How long?
A mile?
We used to go
Half a
over the
mile.
bridge, Neponset Bridge.
Let's go over the bridge.
Where was your first apartment?
Well, we lived at, actually,
Across the street.
Norfolk Downs, yeah. It was across the street from Nana and Grandpa's.
Which?
Little Brown House. We always called it the Little Brown House.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And did Nana own that one too?
No, that was owned by a little, she was a Swedish woman or a Scandinavian woman.
She used to come every month to get the
rent.
And I think the rent was like something like $18.
No.
Huh?
And then you moved across the street?
Yeah.
To Holmes Street?
Nana's house, yeah.
Holmes Ave?
Your sister
Holmes
moved
Street,
down.
yeah.
Holmes Street. And what floor did you live on?
First floor.
And who lived?
Aunt Marie had lived in there before, and then she moved over to Montclair.
And who lived in the other floors?
The other floor?
Of the three-decker?
In our house?
Yeah.
The Little Brown House?
No, the big one. The three-decker.
Nana's?
Yeah.
They lived, Nana and Grandpa lived upstairs.
And then somebody lived above them, right?
Yes.
Yes, it was a little tiny apartment up there.
And didn't the FBI come one time because it was
Yes,
most
they were-
wanted?
Oh.
Betsy Rice.
That
She
was
had something to do. Who was the guy?
Bonomi.
Bonomi, Dominic Bonomi. He
Oh.
came from Situate.
Was he like a murderer or something? What
Why
did he
was
do?
he,
I don't
in
remember.
trouble?
He was in trouble.
Well, Betsy Rice, he didn't live there. It was just Betsy Rice.
But she was girlfriend of this guy?
Girlfriend, yeah.
And he was a bad
I
character?
think he was in jail then, wasn't he?
I don't remember.
I don't really remember either, but she was involved.
I remember when the FBI came and
Yeah.
the door opened and they right away they broke into talking like salesmen about magazines. Automatically they went.
And then they showed us their stuff, and I go, oh,
And what was his name again?
Dominic Bonomi, Situate. He was involved in some kind of a crime. I forget what it was. And she was his girlfriend, so I guess he was in jail or something, but she took the apartment upstairs.
We were married then, Peggy. Sure.
And tell me about your
Oh,
parents.
we were married.
What?
Tell me about your families when you were growing up.
The what?
Tell me about your families. You go first, Mom.
What do you mean? Tell you about my family?
Yeah, your
My,
father and mother. And
my mom and dad, they were great people.
and where's your father from?
He was from Ireland.
We're in Ireland.
Where? He was from,
Tipperary.
he was from Ireland, Tipperary.
Yeah. And how about your mother? Where was she from?
She was my mother was born in South Boston. Then her family, they moved to Norfolk Downs.
But before that, her family was from Canada, right?
My grandfather, yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of 14 boys.
14 boys?
Mm-hmm.
The Wheatleys. And how many siblings did your mother have?
Aunt Olive. And then she had...
Frankie, the boy. Frankie.
And her brother Frankie, we never...
He ended up in the Fernald School?
Yes.
Because he had a throat operation, he got sick, right? And he had a brain damage?
He had some kind of a... He had a double... what do you call it?
Club foot.
Club foot. And when they tried to fix it, they made him worse.
Yeah, and it made him brain damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never saw him.
I never did.
And how
My
about...
mother used to go once a month and bring him a nice dinner.
She'd cook chicken all the time.
Yeah,
A fowl of
fricassee
chicken.
And James Michael Curley was good to him,
Oh,
which is why your mother liked James Michael Curley.
Yeah.
And how many brothers and sisters did you have?
Me?
Yeah.
I have one brother and one sister.
And they're both deceased now?
Yes.
And
Uncle Dick and Aunt Marie.
they were older than you?
Yeah. I was the baby.
Yeah. And how about you, Dad?
2 older sisters.
And where's your father from?
Originally from Italy,
From where in Italy?
Abruzzi.
And how about your mother?
Same thing.
And he came over here to...
He came up. He got to the United States when he was a little boy. He was 14 years old. He was in South America with a couple of his friends, and that's how he came in through South America first. They were 14 years old. They were both. He was with 2 of his friends, and they remained friends for a long time.
And then where did he go after that?
When he came, he left South America when he was about 14, and he came up to the United States, and he went to Pennsylvania.
And what did he do there?
He became a coal miner with my uncle,
Yeah,
with my mother's brother,
in western Pennsylvania.
around the Pittsburgh area, but he had a license to mine coal in Indiana also, which surprised me. Soft coal.
Yeah. And then he went back to Italy?
No.
I thought he went back to Italy to get your mother, to get married.
I don't remember how that.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Because that's where your sisters were born, right? Weren't Terry and Vanjie?
Vanjie was born in Italy. Terry was born in the United States.
So,
Terry was born in Pennsylvania.
and your father and mother never really spoke English.
My mother spoke hardly no English at all.
Your father didn't speak a lot. I remember
Well,
that.
he did. He had to learn English pretty good because he was a barber. All his clients were, for the most part, were Irish Americans.
But he didn't speak a lot of English. I remember
Well,
talking to him.
Well, he would speak broken English.
Yeah. And so, tell me the story about when you saw how you found out that Nana's grandfather was her grandfather.
Oh, the fellas we used to drink in this bar room in the Victoria, and we had all these different names for the characters in the bar room. There was a French fellow that used to sing French songs, and there was Jack Stewart, a former boxer from Canada. He was some champion heavyweight boxer from Canada, and there was a guy we called John Barrymore. And one day I said to Mommy, I said, that's the guy we called John Barrymore. And she said, that's my grandfather.
As you were walking by the bar one night with Mom and you heard him singing or talking?
I forget where we saw him.
Well, he showed me, and I said, "That's my grandfather."
And why did you call him John Barrymore?
Because he
Oh,
looked like him, and
he was always
dressed nice.
he'd always dress nice. He'd always have a tie and a shirt, and he had a cane, and he always acted like a real dignitary. You know,
But he was a big drinker.
Yeah,
Right.
heavy drinker.
And your grandmother tossed him out? Is that what happened? Or
Oh,
no?
She what?
Didn't your grandmother toss him out or something? Or?
Yeah, my grandmother was dead. I didn't never know.
Oh, yeah.
But my mother said he was when her mother died, he took off. He left them.
Yeah.
Then eventually, I don't know how far long ago before they saw her, but I remember I had a knock on the front door, and this man was standing there, and he said, "I'm your grandfather." And I was, "Mama, we have a grandfather." I should think she probably said, "Oh, he's back."
Oh, yeah. So, after you got married, you lived in your Nana's house?
no.
The little brown house. Oh, we just for...
Yeah, but I mean, after you lived in the three-decker where I was born.
No, you. No,
But-
wait a minute, Paul.
Well, we lived in the three-decker till,
Yeah, but when you were born, we lived in a little brown house.
but when I was growing up, we lived in the three-decker. In Nana's house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so how did we end up in Weymouth?
I guess we wanted to buy a house.
And Weymouth was.
I always, growing up, the high school football team, Weymouth, that was everyone in North Quincy wanted to live in Weymouth.
That's when Weymouth had the
They had with the
Alice
powerhouse.
and
Oh, yeah.
They won
the
everything all the
powerhouse
time.
and football. It just seemed more country.
And then we went, kind of looking for a house, and we saw that. And we
Yeah.
loved it right away. We loved the area. And we were so happy we could send you boys to parochial
The
school.
school. We had a
And what did you like about the house?
family.
Huh?
What did you like about the house?
Well, one thing, it was a two-family.
Which,
Probably the biggest mistake I made. Mama never had a single
Never
house.
had a single
My
house.
only regret. We never had a single house till we bought the trailer. Actually,
that was something I always wished I had a
we
single.
Oh, yeah.
never lived in a single house.
Well, what did you like about the house in Weymouth? The yard?
We loved the yard.
Oh, we loved
I
the
loved the
yard.
location. I could get to, I
The
was able to have
hospital, the stores,
I could walk to anything I wanted. I didn't have
stores, hospital, doctors.
to worry.
It
Everything.
was
It was
it
wonderful.
was country.
And there was buses then. When we
There were
first were
buses.
there, I
You go to
could
Boston.
go to Boston.
It was just a
I
perfect
could
place
go to
to.
Quincy. It was
It
great.
was just perfect.
You had a lot of friends in Weymouth, too.
We made a lot of
We
friends,
made a
but
lot.
we
How'd you make so many friends? Was that because you joined the Knights of Columbus and other organizations, or?
Well, and
That helps.
he met what's his name, Al McIntyre, and he took a shine to Daddy, and he really took him around and had him meet everybody.
Oh, yeah. And so, what was
we were
the?
really involved with Al.
Oh, yeah, he was a great
And
guy.
Knights of Columbus, he was a charter member.
Yeah. So you helped found that
Yeah.
group, and you built the clubhouse or whatever they call it.
Oh, we bought the old factory there.
So I know must have been really hard to be pregnant so many times and lose so many babies.
Yes, it was.
Was that the hardest thing in your life, do you think?
It was hard. Well, losing Michael especially.
The crib death, yeah. And the first one. That must have been, how did you ever survive that?
Well, you just go on.
Was Eddie already born at that point or not?
No.
Did you ever think, I don't want to have any more kids because of that?
Oh, no.
No, just the opposite.
Because some people would just stop at that point, I think. That still hurt?
I really, as far as being pregnant all the time, it didn't bother me at all.
Never complained.
Just became a lifestyle.
Mama never complained about having babies or anything.
Was
When I
losing
was going through college, she did all the typing and all the work. And she'd be like this and typing away, typing. You gotta keep on typing. We had a baby every year she were in college. In fact, when I graduated, you couldn't.
I was in the hospital.
You were in the hospital having a baby.
was losing Michael the hardest thing that happened in your life, do you think?
I would think so.
And what was the best thing? Having 5 kids that all grew up to be adults, or?
Yeah, we were lucky. All good kids.
Yeah.
You were all crazy too, but you were good kids.
Yeah, we were a handful, huh?